and welcome back to the GSMC. So we're just waiting for everyone to line up on the grid here, get themselves nicely into position. As they do so, we are just going to hit the replay key. There we go. Perfect, beautiful. So everyone is on the grid. And we just have 22 seconds before we do our formation lap. So the cars will go around, warm up their tyres, get everything nice and beautiful. If you watch Formula 1, it's exactly what happens in the real series. They do a formation lap back to the grid before they do their start, so they can get everything nice and warm, all the nerves shaken out, all that good stuff. So there is 1 second, so they're going to start their formation lap now, and as they go around, we're going to go through our starting grid here at the GSMC. So in pole position, we have David Kruger. Second place, we have Spook in the Wonton GP car. Third place, Frozen Joy Top Gear Racing car. And in fourth place, the sister car of the Wonton in Twin Flow. Fifth place, we have Ricky Tan, Peniston Oils. Sixth place, Wano Aski in the Boston Racing sister car. Jack in the number 7, with Flying Runner just behind him in 8th place. In 9th place, we have Xanax in the Peniston Oil car. In 10th, we have Alexander Goncalves in the Dadsgo Sim Racing car. The coolest guy in Kamikaze Racing Team 11, Jordan in 12th place. In 13th place, we have Alex 1. In 14th place, we have Schmidt in the Top Gear Racing home. Valateco in 15th place in the GSMC Wildcard livery. And then we have Oblong in 16th place, and then at the back of the grid we have Flyla also in the wildcard GSMC livery car. So while they are going around warming up their tyres, doing all their good stuff, I'm going to ask Mr. Ken. Ken, what is your money on?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Spook this time. I've got a good feeling for Spook.
You got a good feeling for Spook? I think this might be Frozen Droid's day. I'm thinking Frozen Droid Ricky Tan 1 and 2 is what I'm thinking. So
yeah, I don't think you can ever discount Spook.
No, absolutely. You cannot discount Spook or Twin Flow for that matter. They are quick guys. Okay, cool. We'll catch up with you later, Ken.
Yep.
So we are just watching the cars now form up onto the grid. Kruger actually pulls a big gap from everyone as they rotate round. As we see Spook just warming up his tyres here, making sure everything is nice, and I'm dead happy. He's got a spooky feeling. I'm dead happy. Hello, sir. How are you doing? It's good to see you back here in the GSMC. We have missed you. Have you missed us? So we're just waiting for this massive grid to fire. Look at them all. Look, 17 cars as we're just watching Flyler. This is what it looks like from Flyler. Just getting onto the back of the grid here as he now pulls into his parking space. So there they are, all on the grid. We're going to mark a replay event as well so we don't miss it. I'm good, man. Hell yeah, man. Good to see you back, dude. So we're just making sure everyone is in their space. There we go. The game is happy. Here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights. And it's go, go, go at the start of the GSMC. It looks like Spook has got a good start here. Gets alongside David Kruger into turn 1. Kruger goes defensive. Looks like Frozen Joy is looking to go around outside here. But they managed to get through nice and cleanly there into turn 1. Everyone looks like they're fairly clean. It looks like there might have been an accident at the back there with Flyler. But 1, 2, 3 all get through very nicely. Twin Flow and Ricky Tan. We've got 2 front wings missing at the back of the grid, apparently. We'll check that back on the replay, but we see David Kruger getting away from Spook, from Frozen Joy, from Twin Flow, as they now head into the Degner 1. And we see Spook running wide. Spook, massive moment from Spook as he goes into the barrier. So Spook into the barrier hard. Spook hits the barrier on lap 1. That is a huge mistake from Spook. That is going to drop him right down the order. That is a big shame. Spook gets underway. He lost his front wing. No, Spook managed to keep his front wing, so he's now into 11th place, but he just runs wide at Degner 1, and that is all it takes, unfortunately. So now Frozen Droid up into P2. So we got Kruger from Frozen Droid, from Twin Flow, from Ricky Tan, and we see Aski actually. Who was that? Oh, we see Xanax in a big spin as well. Xanax in a spin at Spoon Corner, but doesn't cover anyone up. Gets underway. We see Spook go through. And we see Jack actually missing a front wing as well. So Jack's missing a front wing. He's going to have to return back to the pit lane. And we see the Flying Rhino hot on the heels of Wino Aski here. Flying Rhino looks like he's going to take a pit stop here. What has happened to Jack? We don't know. We're going to find out in the replay. Maybe our race director can find out for us and feed back on us what happened to Jack. But we're just watching now the Flying Rhino up into 6th place, looking like he's going to make a move on Wino Aski and gets right onto his tower here. Look at that. Closing right up onto Aski here. There is no space through the S's though. So you're just going to have to run it out. And look at that. Look, that's what happens for the S's. Just a little bit. Oh, we see Flying Rhino's got to have half a spin. No, he managed to cover up. He's at Kruger. Kruger spun in the S's. Kruger is on his side. So Kruger now down into P5. And who is that in P1? Frozen Droid. Frozen Droid up into P1. And on his way, so Kruger now has a fight back through the field. He's down into 10th place here. That is a real shame for David Kruger. But we're now seeing Twin Flow hot on the heels of Frozen Droid. I wonder if Frozen Droid and Kruger had a coming together there. But we are just now seeing Twin Flow and who's that? Twin Flow, Ricky Tan and Frozen Droid all really close together. Interval of just half a second between them. Excuse me about that. So we're just watching Ricky Tan now. Who's this? Flyler and Jordan. Oh, we see Flyler in the barrier hard. And Flyler has returned and DNF. So Flyler has returned back to the pit. So Flyler is out of the race, unfortunately. So we're just now on board with Oblong, Xanax and Kruger here. To watch this pack just be mashed up should be fun. Absolutely terrified. We're going to see some people flying back. Do we have a word from our race director?
The DNF from Flyler, unfortunately, pretty bad crash off into a barrier.
Oh, that's a big shame. Yeah, so thanks for that, Ken. So yeah, Flyler into the barrier pretty hard. Who is that just pulling over? This is weird here. So what we've got? We've got the Flying Rhino, Xanax going through. Who is that at the back in the gold car? Was that Oblong back there? So yeah, Oblong just letting the pack go through. Kruger and Xanax now got through. Which is weird. Maybe Oblong just knew he didn't want to be involved in that fight. So we're now watching David Kruger on his fight back through the grid. But we just see Frozen Droid pull away by 1.8 seconds from Twin Flow here. So he's just going to keep increasing that gap if he can. Who is that ahead? Was that Alex 1G looking at the back of Schmidt? It is indeed Alex 1G looking at the back of Schmidt as they head through. And we see Schmidt running wide, so that's going to allow Alex 1G to really close up onto Schmidt as they now head up into 130R. He's got to get into his slipstream here. So we're just watching Alex now going through 130R. Doesn't manage to close the gap at all. We just see David Kruger actually getting through on Xanax before 130R. So Kruger through on Xanax, but looks like Kruger's struggling a little bit with his time there. And we see Alexander Goncalves actually in the pit lane, so that's probably for damage as well. So yeah, we've got a few people with damage. Jack now down into 14th place behind Spook. So Spook had to probably pit for damage as well, I think. And it looks like Jack's had another spin. He doesn't do any damage at the spoon corner. So no, Jack is back on his way in 14th. Not a good race so far for Jack, unfortunately. But we're just going to look at this gaggle. So we've got Alex Goncalves from Schmidt, from Kruger, from Xanax, from Oblong. This is going to be an interesting pack to follow here. Actually, let's ride on board with Schmidt, because Schmidt just got overtaken by Alex 1G. And as we see them now heading up into the hairpin. Hard on the brake. Oh, Schmidt spins. Schmidt half spin at the hairpin. He gets the car controlled and underway, but that's going to allow David Kruger through, I think. Kruger looks up the inside. He does. Kruger pushes the move on him there. Side by side heading into Spoon, but Kruger's going to get the move done before they hit there. That is a real shame there from Schmidt, and Schmidt looks all out of sea, so that is going to allow Xanax now onto the back of him. Look at this, Xanax nearly side by side as they head on down into 130. Oh, this is going to be brave. Oh, he backs out. Xanax knows not to go through there side by side. And I think they might... Who is that gone wide? Is that David Kruger gone wide again? No, that is Aski. Aski with no front wing. Askey has lost his front wing. He's going to have to pit for that. Askey bums down the order into P9, pulls into the pits now for a repair. So Askey into the pits from 9th place. That's going to drop him way down the order. Probably going to put him out into where Jack is. It's going to be about whoever stays on the circuit, I think, this evening, who gets the win. So let's check in. So while we've got a little bit of lull, let us have a look to see what happened to Jack on turn 1, shall we? So we're just at the start of the race here. We're just waiting for the lights to go out. So Jack in a good place here. Gets the car going. Looking at the back of Ricky Tan's car. Oh, gets quite a bad start here. A little bit of lag. Goes through the corner here. Runs wide through the corner. Looks okay. Gets okay here. So it wasn't Jack that was affected for turn 1. So we're just watching Jack through the S's here. So he must have made a mistake somewhere else, which is a real shame. And it looks like he's trying to go around the outside of Ricky Tan. Doesn't get the move done there. So, he's trying to go up the inside of Ricky Tan at 130. Oh, Ricky Tan's going to shut the door on him there nicely. So yeah, I'm not sure where Jack... Oh, he's going to lose it here. Same as Spook, I think. Yeah, look, gets wide. Oh, he runs. He just follows Spook off into the barrier. Boom. There goes his front wing. That is a real shame there from Jack. But who we got here? We've got Mason and Oblong, teammates here. The coolest guy and Oblong, shall I say, as they now head into the final chicane. But we've got Flying Rhino in a nice place into 4th place, actually. So Twin Front Ricky Tan Rhino, not separated by much, actually. So as we're just watching these guys now power through. So let us actually have a look to see who was at the back of that grid. Flyer was quite far at the back. Let's ride on board with Flyer at the start of the race. So we're just seeing Flyer now starting at the back of the grid. Oh, a little roll forward there from Flyer. Gets the car under control. Gets the car started. Now powering on down into turn 1. Oh, he lifts off quite early there. Very, very tentative from Flyer. As we just see a little bit of pack. So who is that? Oh, that is, looks like, oh, there was a spinner from the Dad's Gone Sim Racing car in the middle of the pack, and then it just gets collected by everyone. So that is what happened at the start there, which is a real shame. But now we're seeing Jordan chasing down Oblong. Looks like Mason has pulled a gap on Oblong. So Jordan is now onto the back of Oblong here. Can Jordan make a move? Oblong runs a little bit deep. Jordan now holds the inside line. Jordan doing a great job here. He's going to power up the inside of Oblong. Oblong goes across the cover. Covers that inside line nicely as they head up into 130R. Can Jordan stick the car up the inside through the chicane? Looks like Oblong struggling to get the car turned in. And we see Jordan now on the brakes. Oh, we see Oblong hard. Oh, they're going to come together. They do indeed touch. But Jordan gets the move sort of done, shall we say. As there's a half spin there from Oblong, and they do have a coming together. We see a couple more cars in the pit lane. Schmidt in the pits. Alex 1 also in the pits. So we're just now riding on board. We got 30 minutes. It's only been 10 minutes so far, and the pack is absolutely obliterated. As we see Spook just jumping up the ladder there into 9th place. And oh, we just see Jordan spinning through the S's here. And Oblong does a good job to avoid him. So Jordan now loses the places he's made. Back down into 8th place. Oh, he does a half spin to get the car underway again. Just can't get the car turned. Spook now whips through. And Jordan finally back on the way. Let's look at this battle. So we've got Twin Flow just ahead of Mr. Ricky Tan, who can just about see him at the top of the hill with Flying Rhino just behind him. So what are their lap times? So Ricky Tan's doing a 33.5. Twin Flow did a 33.3, and just behind Flying Rhino did a 33.7 on last lap. Kruger creeping slowly and stealthily back up to the pack. He is indeed. Let's ride with... Oh, he is up into 5th place, actually. So he's doing a good job. Oh, we just see him running a little bit deep. It's going to be a bit frustrating, I think, for Kruger now. He's got to be pushing those tyres hard. And talking about tyres, let's have a look, see what they're all on. So Frozen joined on the softs here. So Frozen, remember what I said in practice qualifying? If you start on the softs, you have to stop. So Frozen Droid, with his 13-second gap, he's going to have to make a pit stop here. Twin Flow could quite possibly eke those mediums out, but the hards on Ricky Tan will definitely last until the end of the race. So we could be seeing a Frozen Droid dropping pit stop back into the pack, and Ricky Tan and Twin Flow going through. We're probably gonna see those medium tyres of Twin Flow starting to drop off now, as well. Actually, with Frozen Droid last lap was a 31.1. His best was a 30.6. So yeah, he's definitely got to use those tyres up. So interesting strategies going on here. The Flying Rhino is definitely catching up. But actually, we've got Spook on Oblong here. So going through Degner 1. Oblong quite tentative. Spook's also a little bit tentative as they go through. Underneath the bridge as they go. We see Xanax now making a pit stop. So that might be on schedule. We see a little bit of lockup from Oblong, but no space through. Spook gets the undercut though on Oblong. And Oblong's just going to watch Spook just drive away up into Spoon Corner. And look at that. The Wanton GP car gets ahead with the dirty air symbol. Gets the move done. Oblong slightly understeery here. And gets passed by the recovering Spook. So Spook is on his way up into 7th place. Good job from him. So we see Kruger still sneakily his way back up to the Flying Rhino. What is the gap? 7 seconds here between them two. And he's got a back marker ahead of him. That might be Valeterco. I'm just going to call him Val from now on. I'm done with his name. So his King's back up onto Val. So he's got to dispatch that driver. Oh, we see him actually, Valterco, getting all sorts of wrong here. And he's got to slam into the wall. Is Valterco. Oh, he gets it slowed down. He does. He avoids the wall. Good driving, sir. So he avoids that, but that unleashes David Kruger to continue on his way and to try and catch up to the Flying Rhino in head. 7.4 seconds ahead is Flying Rhino, so he's got time to definitely catch him up. I didn't check what tyre is Kruger. Kruger's on hard, so Kruger is definitely looking to finish the race on those tyres. So we're just going to keep it. So actually Frozen Droid still pushing hard, 30.09 on those softs. He knows he needs to eke out all the advantage he can on these because he needs the pit stop window. If he goes soft, he's going to be extremely fast in the second half. But it's whether he can make these tyres go, for another 5 minutes. If he can, he's golden and he can do a soft for sure. And that is definitely one to keep an eye on. What about Flying Rhino on Ricky Tan? So that is a 1.8 second gap between these two. So Flying Rhino is just about seeing Ricky Tan up ahead of him as they're going through the S's. You can just see him disappearing around the left-hand corner there. So actually lets us put on the battle. So yeah, we see he is just about 2.02 seconds behind at this stage now. So we can just... Oh, who is that guy? Is that Twin Flow in front of Ricky Tan? Twin Flow may have made a small mistake because Ricky Tan is closed. Looked like he was very, very close going into the hairpin there. Let me see if that will work. Let's see if we can catch anything going on with Twin Flow into that. No, we've missed that, unfortunately. So Twin Flow continues on his way, but the gap does look like it's closing. Yeah, because now Frozen Droid is 19 seconds ahead of Twin Flow. So Frozen Droid is doing what he needs to do to make this strategy work. Those tyres might be starting to fall away from Twin Flow, but I'm surprised they're not hurting from Frozen Droid. Frozen Droid is absolutely just dipped off into the front and he's gone. So where are the main battles here? Doesn't seem to be any at the moment. This is the main battle. Twin Flow, Ricky Tan, the Flying Rhino and Kruger. Kruger now takes another second out of the Rhino on that last lap. 24 minutes to go. Alex 1 has now retired from the race. We didn't see what happened to him. Maybe Ken can find out. and he's on his travels. So we are riding back with Mr. Twinflow with Ricky Tan just behind it. Actually, yeah, you see Ricky Tan just keeping him within distance here. Not quite into DRS range here, unfortunately. So he's not getting any benefit of the DRS at all. But Twinflow is definitely starting to struggle. 33.1 on his last lap. 31.4 for Frozen Joy in his last lap. So yeah, I thought we might see a bigger degradation here with the tyres, but no, not at all. So we have news from Ken.
Yeah, so that was just a pretty severe crash. Damage couldn't be repaired, suspension damage. That was it.
Oh, that's a real shame. So we do have now 2 DNFs from the race. Alex 1 and Flyler. Some big damage for Alex 1, which is unfortunate. We just see now Ricky Tan here on his hard tyres going through the chicane and continuing on his way. Just 1.3 behind. Still doesn't get DRS as we see the Rhino now. Actually, seems like he's still about the same, 2.5. And we just see in the background at the end of the straight, we see Kruger just now nibbling away, now down to 5.2 seconds. And we think I've just seen Spook go through Mason. Yeah, so Spook has just overtaken Mason, so Spook up into P6 now, and the coolest guy down into P7. We've got a battle going back here with Alex Goncalves and Valteco, and Valteco goes wide, so that's going to allow Alexandra Goncalves to go through. So, Alex too. It looks like Val is going into the pit lane. He is indeed. So Val is now pitting in what could be just a normal stop here as he goes into the pit lane. It doesn't look like the coolest guy isn't giving up on Spook too hard. Oh, he does go wide though. So the coolest guy runs wide but gets the car under control, gets through the job nicely. Who we haven't seen in a little while is Jack. So where's Jack now? Jack is a full 6 seconds behind Wino Askey. So Askey's just ahead of him. Let's have a look with Jack is. So yeah, he's 6 seconds behind Askey, who had to also pit for a front wing. So Askey Askey in the final point, sorry. Jack just outside of the points in 11th place. I wonder if Jack can catch up to Askey by the end of this session. What we got here? Oblong on Jordan. So Oblong getting caught up again by Jordan. So Jordan currently in P9. P8 will be, I think P9 will be his best ever finish. But if he can get P8, that would be his all-time record for a finish for Jordan. So let's keep an eye on this. So Jordan now heading into Spoon Corner, just behind Oblong. Oblong looks like he runs wide. No, it doesn't look wide actually. So Oblong gets the car nice. It just looks like he, Jordan has that little bit of extra grip on the inside here. Is Twin badly damaged? I don't think so. I'm dead happy. I haven't seen anything from Twinflow. I think he's just managing his pace. He's keeping a gap from Ricky Tan. Frozen Droid is just pushing like an absolute madman on his tyres. He needs to get those to 20 minutes. And he needs to get to about 30 seconds, I think. How is he losing? It's because Frozen Droid is on soft tyres compared to his mediums. And I would imagine Frozen Droid's also on half fuel, whereas the others are on full race fuel. Oblong is currently trying to carry his inner Ryan Gosling. Yes, Jordan is definitely catching up. We see Frozen Droid in the pits now. Frozen Droid pits from P1 at the 20-minute mark. That's what I said, exactly halfway. So he definitely took half fuel. I wonder if he is going to put back on soft tyres. We'll check when he exits the pit lane. So he's down, look at this, 16, 17 seconds. So that is a 5.9 second stop. Currently 20 seconds in the pit lane. And we just see Ricky Tan now go through. So that is going to put Frozen Droid down into... He hasn't maintained the lead, has he? He has indeed maintained the lead. So Frozen Droid pits and comes out and keeps the lead. That is a fantastic strategy from Frozen Droid. So Frozen Droid pulls such a big gap that he maintains the lead. Let's look at what tyres, back onto soft tyres. That is one hell of a move from Frozen Droid. So I think if Frozen Droid can keep this together, he has absolutely obliterated this lead. What a move from Frozen Droid. Absolute strategy king here. Let's hope he's got enough fuel. Oh, he's just watch on board with Jordan now. All over the back of Oblong. But gets a little bit out of shape Is he going to get DRS? Oh, look at he's all over the place there. So he's just continuing down. So yeah, he's got DRS. So DRS is open on the car. So he's through the zone at the right time. But he's lost a bit of time on Oblong there as he goes through. Let's look. What's the gap? Oh, we need to change that. What's the gap between Kruger? So Kruger now down to 4.5 behind the Rhino. So that gap is definitely slowly creeping downwards. J71 says the key word is trying, shall I say. He is trying to channel his inner Ryan Gosling. But this is the battle for 8th and 9th place. And look at this. Jordan just seems to have so much more grip through the inner parts. But this is actually allowing Wino Aski to close in on the pair. There's Aski there just at the back of the grid there. As we see Jordan just get a little bit spooked, I think, by Oblong coming across. So Aski now falling into this fray. This could, if this battle goes on long enough, this could allow Jack to catch up as well and get Jack into the points here. And we're just watching the Kamikaze Racing team of Oblong pushing up ahead. What Jordan needs to do is stay with him through the last chicane and get the DRS down into turn 1 and try and get the move done there. But yeah, amazing job. I'm blown away by Frozen Droid. Actually, he's done a fantastic job. But while we're watching this, I've just seen as well the Flying Rhino is only 8/10 now behind Ricky Tan. So I wonder if Ricky Tan had a moment somewhere, and that's allowed the Flying Rhino to catch up to him. As we now see, look, Aski now onto the back of this pack. If Jordan doesn't get this move done soon, because Oblong is definitely holding him up in some parts of the track, Aski is not going to hang around and be so polite about it. Aski is going to put the moves on Jordan. As we see here, look at that. Jordan's just managed to take a tight line, just a tighter line on Oblong and get through. And we start to see Aski now chasing through. Yeah, look, they're just all Constantina up here. As we see them all fighting over 8th place here. Is Aski going to go for a move up the inside? No, but Jordan, big double lockup from Jordan. That is going to allow Aski to try and get a run up the inside. Oh, a little bit of wheel banging there, a little bit side to side, but Jordan doesn't take it lying down. Jordan closes the door on Aski, but his vibrations from his double lockup is going to be all over the place now. So Jordan's gone from the hunted to the hunting. The other way around. Oh, who is that spun though? Is that Schmidt? That is Schmidt spun. So Schmidt has spun. So Schmidt is now down into 13th place. Oblong 8th. Oh, and we just missed it. We saw Aski now going through on Jordan. So Aski gets the move done on Jordan. I told you Aski would not be as polite as Jordan has been. So they are now 8th, 9th and 10th. And I think that spinner from Schmidt was just Schmidt. I think Schmidt's a lap down anyway. So that is a real shame from him. So that is the move done. So now we're going to watch Wino Aski chase down Oblong here and try and put the move on Oblong. What Jordan needs to do is follow Aski as much as he can and get through Oblong when Aski makes the move, essentially. So now as they head up into Degner 1 and Degner 2, as we see, this is where Oblong is really slow. Yeah, look, very slow. Just allows the whole field to batch. Oh, we see Oblong with a spin. Oblong spins, so Oblong now spun out and is on the grass. So that has allowed Aski and Jordan through. And Jordan sniffing another place here, thinking he might be able to get back through on Wino Aski. But Aski just gets the move done, and he's probably going to pull away through Spoon here. So that, there we go. Aski up into 8th, Jordan 9th, Oblong drops down into 10th. J71, Oblong must be absolutely fuming with that. So we currently have 3 DNFs, unfortunately, down to 14 races. Xanax actually at the back. Xanax is not having a good time this race. Last lap was a 36.3, so yeah, not doing too good for him. What we're now seeing is this battle developing. So we've got Ricky Tan here. We've got the Flying Rhino just behind him. And then we've got David Kruger just sniffing behind. We see Flying Rhino go wide there on the entry into Spoon Corner. Jason, this is all part of the plan. Okay, interesting to see what the plan is there. We do have a spinner somewhere, but that is fine, that is good. So we're just watching the Flying Rhino now chasing down Ricktown. But look at this, David Kruger now 1 second behind the Flying Rhino. So Kruger has managed to crawl back all that time and get the gap right the way down. But we see now Frozen Droid 6 seconds clear of Twin Flow. So Frozen Droid doing a fine job. Down into the 32.8. So he's thinking, he might be thinking tyre conservative now. Make sure he can get this tyre and this fuel to the end of the race. Don't push too hard. Just keep it nice and simple. And let the race come to him. Because, you know, the guys behind are now on old used tyres. No matter what oh, we got a DNF from Oblong. Oh no, not an Oblong DNF. We'll find out what happened there in just a second. But Oblong now out of the race, down to 14 races. 13 races, should I say. That's a real shame. So we're just watching. Oh, we see actually Kruger. We missed that. So Kruger has got through on the Flying Rhino. So Kruger now back up into 4th place. So he's going to be chasing down. Oblong lost his wheel apparently. But we'll find out from Ken, our race director, when we come back in a minute. So yeah, Flying Rhino got passed by David Kruger. So Kruger now chopped away that time on the return. He's now going to be hunting down Ricky Tan. So Kruger versus Ricky Tan here. Ricky Tan currently P3. We have news from Ken.
Yeah, just a technical issue. Unfortunately, wheel not working well with the game, and yeah, nothing he could do.
Oh, that's a real shame. Okay, so we've lost Oblong from a technical issue there. That is a real shame. But hopefully he can cheer on his teammate, the coolest guy who's currently in 7th place, doing some really good job. So we're watching David Kruger now hunting down the Ricky. Oh, Ricky Tan runs wide. Oh, Ricky Tan runs wide through turn 2. That has just allowed Kruger to just absolutely mince through. Ricky Tan will be kicking himself there as we see him continue on his way. Let us see. Actually, we might have it. 1 second, we're just going to go to Ken. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, just interesting point here between Kruger, Ricky Tan and Rhino. They're all on hards at the moment, all 3 of them. None of them are pitted, so they're all really at this stage in the race. It's probably about who's been managing their tyres the best. So yeah, I mean, in front of them, obviously, we've got Twin Flow on mediums and Frozen on softs, but yeah, these 3 are in it for the long haul. Yeah,
very interesting, very good point. And do you think Twin Flow is going to start to suffer? Because we've seen Kruger setting 32s and Twin Flow and Ricky Tan on the 33. So do you think Twin Flow is going to start to have to manage those mediums in the last 10 minutes?
Yeah, well, he's not been in the pits either. So yeah, quite possibly. It depends how well the mediums have been working out for him.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. We'll see if Kruger can pull back into Twin Flow here. But we've seen Ricky Tan not giving up on that position too well. But look at this. Why is Kruger weaving over a little bit? But is he just trying to break the toe? Maybe. But yeah, Ricky Tan has got DRS, and so has the Flying Rhino. Flying Rhino isn't going to give up on this, actually. Flying Rhino right back into this, right onto the back of Ricky Tan. Ricky Tan just needs to steady his nerves now and yeah, just get back into the rhythm of the track, because once you lose the rhythm of this track, it is gone for good, unfortunately. 10 minutes remaining here. Frozen Droid way out front with a 7.7 second lead, doing a fine job here. Twin Flow in 2nd place, a good 4 seconds ahead of this leading trio. All these guys, as Ken just said, are all on hard tyres. None of them have stopped. Twin Flow is going to be we think, managing his tyres possibly within the next couple of minutes here, if he isn't already. So yeah, that is going to be an interesting one to see. Yeah, real shame for Oblong there, actually, losing his wheel. So that's 4 DNFs for this race so far. Zalak still down in last place with a plus 66 to Schmidt. So there's a big gap at the bottom of the grid. These guys are falling away. Jack's doing a fine job. Jack up into P10, so Jack into the points. He's actually the last car not to be lapped so far. So yeah, we'll see how that goes shortly. But Jordan up into P9 as well. Is Jack slowly catching us? Jack is about 8 seconds behind. Who is that in the pit? Is that Xanax in the pit lane again? It is Xanax back in the pit lane. So that is not going to help Xanax's day, but he's last anyway. So he might as well put some softs on that thing and have some fun. As we're just watching these guys now. So Twinflow, what was Twinflow's last lap? 32.8. So he is still holding around the same lap time as everyone else. Kruger's doing a 32.7, Rick Tan's doing a 33.5, Flying Rhino's 33.6. Spook actually in the 32.6 is for Spook behind in 6th place. What's the gap there? 25 seconds though. That's a big gap to make up, unfortunately. I think quite a few of the guys were hoping for safety cars here this evening, but as it turns out, we haven't had a call or need for one yet. So these guys are doing a fine job here. And we are just watching now on board with the Flying Rhino, who is chasing down Ricky Tan. Kruger has checked out a bit up front, broken the DRS barrier. Now 1.5 up the road here. So let us have a look down the list. Let's have a quick let's have a quick ride on with Jack, see how he's doing. So Jack, who's that he's following? That is probably Schmidt, I think. But he's going to be lapping Schmidt here. But Jack is a good way behind Jordan here. 8 seconds is not really making any moves. Jordan's doing a really good job here, and he's going to looks like he's going to cement P9 as it stands at the moment. But the real battle is on board these guys. Flying Rhino chasing hard, chasing Ricky Tan really hard here. Ricky Tan doing a really good job. Look at Rhino fighting the wheel through there. Just understeer, oversteer, just trying to get the car to turn it. But Ricky Tan's really wide through there. The understeer is massive on his car. But Ricky Tan actually just done a 32.8, and Twinflow was a 33.2. So are we starting to see now Twinflow struggle? Let's have a ride. Oh, it's just Ricky Tan getting a little bit slow there, and we see the Flying Rhino looking like he's doing a little bit of weaving, a little bit of bobbing, a little bit of weighing. As we see the Flying Rhino all over the back of Ricky Tan here. So Ricky Tan is going to have to do some defending from the Flying Rhino as they now head into Spoon Curve. Flying Rhino is definitely going to get DRS if he can stay through and close enough through 130R and the final chicane. And now they power on down the straight and up the hill. Looks like Ricky Tan just put it to the left-hand side. Let's have a look through 130. These cars are phenomenal through here. Ricky Tan just a little bit on the curb. Looks like, look at, he's going up for the inside. Ricky Tan covers the middle, but look at this. He's going to allow him, the Flying Rhino, to have a really good line, but Rhino just gets a little bit crossed over there, and Ricky Tan just gets the power down nicely on the exit, and that is allowed him on the way. But look at this now. Ricky Tan going for an early defensive move here to try and stop that DRS, as we see Ricky Tan now turning into turn 1 with Rhino just behind. Twinflow, let's have a ride on board with Twinflow just up the road here. Is he starting to struggle here? David Kruger is 2.8 seconds behind. Kruger's just set a 32.5 and Twinflow did a 33.2. So that is nearly, that's 0.8 of a second slower there on that lap. Are these medium tyres starting to go off? And we're seeing Frozen Droid now just checked out completely, 9 seconds up the road. Frozen Droid doing a fantastic job here. So we'll keep an eye on the Twinflow battle, but this is the real battle on the track at the moment. I'm then can we see stats on number of pit stops? Number of stops we kind of need. There we go. So Frozen Droid stopped once, Spooker stopped once, Asky has stopped once, Jack once, Goncalves twice, Schmidt once, and the others have DNF'd. So yeah, we kind of need. We can also see this positions gained and lost. So Frozen Droid up 2, Twinflow up 2, Kruger down 2, Ricky Tan up 1, Flying Rhino up 3, Spook down 4, Coolest Guy up 4, Askew down 2, Jordan up 3, Jack down 3, Goncalves up 1, down 1, and Schmidt up 2 places. So we're just now watching. Look at this, Kruger now 1.7 seconds behind Twinflow. I'm dead happy. Can Twinflow hold on? That's the question we need to ask, because that gap is decreasing all the time. We have 3 minutes and 54 seconds to go. can this man, David Kruger, our pole sitter, and unfortunately lost it in the early opening laps of the race, can he close down Twin Flow? It looks like Twin Flow actually has a back marker ahead of him of Schmidt, and that is going to cost him a lot of time here. It does. Schmidt gets out of the way, but that is going to allow Kruger to close that gap right up now, 2.2 seconds. And look, there is barely a gap between them now. Twin Flow, Kruger, hard versus mediums, used hards versus used mediums. This track is definitely a tyre killer. So I wouldn't bet against Kruger at this point, but Twin Flow is extremely savvy and places that car in order. Oh, Kruger spun! Kruger spun! Half a spin by Kruger. So Kruger loses the rear. That's going to allow Ricky Tan to go up the inside. Ricky Tan puts up the inside. Kruger's defending and come wheel to wheel. They're bashing wheel to wheel here as they go up the hill. Ricky Tan is going to get the move through 130. They're going to go for one for a side by side. Oh, they do indeed, but Kruger stays ahead. Unbelievable stuff here. Ricky Tan brave up the inside. Kruger even braver around the outside, but Ricky Tan now smelling blood. He wants to get onto the back of that. That was absolutely incredible. Holy moly. Let's have a look on board. Kruger's now up into the back market. Look at Schmidt. Schmidt's going to call. Schmidt collects Kruger. Kruger gets collected by Schmidt, but there's no big damage, so they get underway. But Ricky Tan now back onto the back of David Kruger. Twin Flow must be having a huge... Oh, we've got Rhino sliding at the back there. But Rhino keeps it together. So Kruger now lost all those paces. Probably overheated his tyre somewhat. Ricky Tan needs to smell blood. Let's have... Oh no, Ricky Tan run wide. Ricky Tan's off. Ricky Tan into the barrier hard. Ricky Tan loses his front wing. That is Ricky Tan off. Oh no, that is huge. Oh no. Ricky Tan into the barrier, 1 minute 40 to go. Spook is a good 24 seconds behind. Can Ricky Tan bring this back to... that's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking from Ricky Tan. Oh, he was having such a good race. Let's see if we can see that again. Actually, I want to see the David Kruger incident from his cockpit. So this is his half spin here. We see Schmidt going back through. Gets on the power. Here's Ricky Tan up the inside. Schmidt just about gives him a car's whip there. You see Ricky Tan on the grass. As we see Schmidt now and Ricky Tan side by side through one. Oh yeah, Ricky Tan just lifts, I think, a little bit to go through. That is a real shame from Ricky Tan. Let's now look at Ricky Tan trackside. Let us go back to live feed. Oh, that is a real shame. Ricky Tan does continue on. Sorry, Ricky Tan is going to see. We need to just do this quickly. So we're going to watch Ricky Tan now. Going through Degner 1. Just gets, hits the bump, runs wide. Just runs, gets the car, can't slow it down. Boff into the barrier. What a shame from Ricky Tan. He was having such a good race here in the GSMC. So we are now 13 seconds to go. We are with our race leader, Frozen Joy, 12 seconds up the road here. So he's going to count down 3, 2, 1. That is it. Race finishes when Frozen Joy crosses the line here. Frozen Joy, what an absolute and amazing strategy. I'm going to bring Ken live in here so Ken can talk with me. What an amazing strategy from Frozen Joy, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, he just blew everyone out of the water there with that, didn't he? That was just sublime. Yeah,
they said it couldn't be done soft, and he absolutely proved them wrong. What a race.
Still being in the lead after coming out the pits, that was, I think, the key to the strategy, and it worked very well. Yeah, I agree. And we see Twin Flow now managed to save off a last run from Kruger, crossing into third place. We see Kruger in third, the Flying Rhino into fourth place. Now Ricky Tan. Oh, look at this. Ricky Tan with Spook right behind him here into the last chicane. Is Spook going to do him here? Oh no, that is heartbreaking. Spook nips through on the final corners, gets through up into fifth place. Ricky Tan down into sixth. Ricky Tan did what he needed to do though. That is a real shame from Ricky Tan, and he slams it into the wall out of frustration.
And now we're just going to watch Wino Aski here going into the spoon corner. He is in 7th place. He is the only car not to be lapped. So they've lapped everyone up until P7. Such is the pace of this race. Oh, he nearly lost the rear end of the car there. He needs to keep this on the track for the good points here, Mr. Aski. So as he now goes through 130R, gets the job done. What a fine job. So Aski dropped out of the lead running pack early on, but managed to claw his way back up into 7th place and some good points for the Borson Racing team. Good job from him. And everyone else, unfortunately, is a lap down. So, we see Mason with no front wing, no rear wing. Where's Jordan in relation to him? Oh, Jordan's going to cross the line now, yeah. So Mason will be safe from Jordan. Mark Mason safe from Jordan. Good job from him. Terabyte says, brilliant close race at the front. Congrats, Frozen Droid. Thanks, Boost. And Ken, you're more than welcome, Terabyte. So we're just going to watch now the coolest guy crossing the line. He does indeed cross the line and secures his 8th place. Good job from him. Wow, what a race, Ken.
Yeah, great race. Really close battling right until the very end. A lot of small incidents sprinkled throughout. I think a lot of people will be frustrated with the race that they had. But overall, very entertaining to watch.
Yep, I agree. So anyway, that will do us for this evening. We are not back next week because there is a GSME race. Then we have a week off, so we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. We'll be going to Melbourne in these cars, which is going to be something to behold because that is the new track and it is fantastic. So thank you very much for watching. We will see you in a couple of weeks. And say goodbye, Ken.
See ya.